Hey guys, today's lesson is the last of the lessons that are like pure review. This lesson is all about y equals mx plus b. So it should be fairly straightforward, stuff that you guys have been doing for like years now. And then tomorrow we'll finally start getting into some new stuff. Okay, so this is lesson 6.4. Yes, we have skipped 6.3. You're not missing anything. And it's, like I said, all about slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. The rest of this chapter is all about different forms of equations of lines. So we're going to start today by reviewing the one that you're familiar with, and the next couple days we'll be looking at other ways of representing a line. So obviously, y equals mx plus b is the slope-intercept form of the line. M is the slope, b is our y-intercept, and then x and y we keep as variables, but they do represent any coordinate. That's why when we were like solving for like half a coordinate or something, we can like plug x and y in here as any coordinate, or like when we're solving for b, we can just plug in an xy coordinate and our slope to solve for b. We've already looked at how to graph using y equals mx plus b, where you just plot the y-intercept and then use the slope as your rise over run to move away from your y-intercept. We've also already looked at word problems, but we're going to do another example today just because it's one of the things that people tend to struggle with the most when it comes to this kind of thing. So yeah, let's do a word problem. Okay, so the question is, I have $4,500 in my bank account and I spend $55 a week. How many weeks until I have $300 left? So your first thing that you're going to want to do anytime you have a word problem like this is write out your equation of a line. Now, what makes this different from the word problem we did a little while ago with like the zip line is that there's not any like pairs of numbers. So in that one, it didn't give us how much the like zip line's height was changing by. Instead, it gave us 4 numbers, or 2 pairs of numbers, and then the 5th number, which is the one that's in like the actual question. This one only gives us 3 numbers in total, but one of them is the amount that it's changing by, the $55 per week. So because of that, we can go right to our first step, which is writing the equation of this relationship as y equals mx plus b. So b is the amount that we start with, which will be the $4,500 I have in my bank account, and then m is the rate of change, which is the $55 I'm spending every week. And then again, we keep our x and y as just x and y. Now, the important part to notice is that because I am spending $55 a week, that will be negative 55x because I'm losing $55 a week. And then I'm starting with $4,500 in my bank account because I'm starting not in debt. I have positive $4,500. And then the second step is to just plug in my $300. I do need to figure out if this is going to be an x or y value. So the 2 things that I'm comparing here are the number of weeks, which is really a measurement of time, and the amount of money. So weeks, because it is time, is independent and therefore going to be x, which means that my amount of money is going to be y. So I will plug in my $300 where the y is and solve for x. And my first step is going to be moving the 4,500 to the other side by subtracting it. So 300 minus 4,500 is negative 4,200 equals negative 55x. And then, of course, I need to divide by negative 55 to cancel it out. Negative 4,200 divided by negative 55 is 76.36, repeating. So a little over 76 weeks is how long I've got until I only have $300 left in my bank account. Okay, the other type of problem that you might see is where you have to write the equation of a line given points. And you might be given 2 points, as I've done here, or you might be given 1 point and the slope. If you're not given the slope, that is your first step. So step 1, if you don't have it, find your slope. And for that, we're of course just going to be using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, where these are our xy coordinates. So we'll do -9 minus 6 over 1 take away -4. -9 minus 6 is -15. And 1 take away -4 is 5. -15 divided by 5 is -3. So we have a slope of -3. And then step 2 would be to find our b value. And to do that, we're going to use y equals mx plus b. This is very similar to a problem that we did a couple days ago. So all we're going to do is take y equals mx plus b. We'll plug in our slope and either of our coordinates, doesn't matter which one, and solve for b. So I'm going to pick this second coordinate here only because a 1 is really easy to deal with. But like I said, doesn't matter which one you pick. So I'll put the -9 where the y is. My m value is -3. My x is 1. And then I'm solving for b. So -3 times 1 is -3. And then I just have to move that -3 to the other side to get my b by itself. And I do that by just adding 3. -9 plus 3 is -6. So that is my b value. And then my last step is to just actually write my equation, which is just going to be y equals my m value, x, and then my b value. Okay, so I'm just plugging in my m and my b, and of course leave the y and x as just y and x. And that would be your final answer.